Hello, welcome back to some 1947 baseball. We have a good one on tap for today. The Cleveland Indians are in Detroit to take on the Tigers. It is Sunday, April the 20th, 1947. This is game number 8 of 11 today. We had 3 doubleheaders. So got another great pitching matchup. The last one we had Ralph Branca and Warren Spahn in the National League. Today we have Hal Newhouser going for the Tigers and Bob Feller going for the Indians. Mr. Feller had a shutout in 1946, game that I played with ATBA. So this is a year later than that. So both pitchers didn't have great opening outings for their teams. Newhouser ended up with a no decision and a loss. The Tigers suffered in St. Louis against the Browns. And Bob Feller took the loss against the Chicago White Sox in Cleveland. So both pitchers had very good years and are looking to redeem themselves in this contest tonight. It's actually an afternoon game here at Briggs Stadium. So we will get things going. So I will be managing the Indians. So you can see I put a little red asterisk there again with who I'm managing. Just little things in my scorebook that I can keep track of different things like that. So I will be giving Cleveland. Cleveland comes in at 1-3. The Tigers are 2-3. In real life, Cleveland came in 4th, and of course they're 1 year away from their American League pennant in 1948. The Tigers were 2nd at 85-69. So they were a distant 2nd to the New York Yankees, who won the American League pennant this year. So that will be our matchup. So again, promises to be a good one. Kind of been excited about this game, so I thought I would put it on the channel, and hopefully it turns out to deliver as promised. So leading off for the Indians will be Dale Mitchell. As you can see, he's hitting .294 early in the season. Newhouser has a no record with a .563 ERA. Again, that was in St. Louis against the Browns. So we get a 3-8 versus the lefty, and that's going to be bounced back to the mound. Newhouser will catch it and throw him out number 1. So that'll bring up Catfish Metkovich, who is in my 53 Milwaukee Braves, but last year he was with Boston. This year he finds himself with the Indians. He is hitting .143, so he's off to a slow start. Left-handed hitting center fielder today. And that's a 4-6, and that's going to be a solid base hit. So get a 16 on the 20-sided die, so he bangs it up the middle. He is not much of a threat to steal. Newhouser holds at a 0, and Wagner behind the plate for the Tigers has a -1 arm. So that'll bring up Hal Peck, who is also off to a slow start, just hitting .182. There's Mr. Catfish on first base. So lefty versus lefty. So against lefties, the Indians play a lot of lefties, but Mr. Peck in particular is actually 4 better against lefties. So we're not going to do anything with Metkovich, so we'll let Peck swing away. That's a 3-9, and that's going to be a walk. So 2 runners get on in a row for the Indians. Walk number 2 of the year for Peck. That'll bring Lou Boudreau to the plate. Hall of Fame shortstops, hitting .313 with 3 RBIs so far. Tigers are at double play depth. Trying to get out of this inning here with a double play would be nice for them. Mr. Boudreau has Other plans, that's a 3-6, and he hits a fly ball out to left field. Hit pretty well, but Wakefield back there will put it away for out number 2. So Eddie Robinson hitting 253, or 250 rather, with a home run, 3 RBIs. He is not a clutch hitter either way. And he is a -6 total against left-handed pitching, so he is not a big, not very good against lefties, but we'll see what he can do here. That's a 6-9. That's a shortstop X. Lake at shortstop is a 244. So he is prone to some errors. We get a 3, so he makes the play just barely and gets a 10, and so he will not make an error. So Newhouser gets at it as Lake fields it in the hole. Long throw across the infield to Cullenbine, and that will do it for the Indians in the first. So they threaten, but not able to deliver. No runs, a hit, no errors, 2 runners left. We go to the bottom of the first. Cleveland nothing. Tigers coming to bat. That will put Bob Feller on the mound. He is 0-1 with a 3.38 ERA. Again, he was beat by the White Sox at home. Okay, so Bob Feller will lead off here against Eddie Lake, the Detroit shortstop. He's hitting 235 so far. That's a 4-9, and that's going to be a leadoff walk. So Feller not off to a great start here early in the game. Eddie Lake, Feller holds at a -1. Hegan's got a -3 arm, so very good arm. So Eddie Lake has the star, so he gets the lead if he's not held on. We will hold him on. Eddie Mayo, the second baseman, is an A bunter, so we will do the corners in. And they're going to hit away. Mayo's hitting 222 so far. That's a 4-10, and that's a single check. Briggs Stadium is 1-9 for singles and 1-17 for home runs, so it's definitely a homer's park, and not too bad on the singles, but we got a 15 on the 20-sided. That's a fly, or actually a pop-up on the infield. Former Yankee Gordon will put it away for out number 1. Dick Wakefield, the left fielder, is hitting .056 with an RBI, so he's off to a really slow start. Hang on a second here. It doesn't reset the offense. I wish it did, but so I got to put the infield back. So Dick Wakefield, the left-handed left fielder versus the right-handed Bob Feller. That's a 2-4, and that's going to be a fly ball out to left field. Mitchell out there will chase it down and put it away for out number 2. Brings up the Hall of Fame third baseman George Kell, who was traded mid-season from Philadelphia last year. And hit .320 with 93 RBIs in his first full season with Detroit. So far he's hitting .333 with an RBI and a triple. So 2 Hall of Famers here, Bob Feller versus George Kell. That's a 2-8, and that's going to be bounced back to the box. Nice reflexes by Bob Feller, and he will throw him out to end the inning. So Tigers come up empty. Runner left on. We've played 1 complete here in Detroit. No score. An interesting story about Hal Newhouser that I read in my Baseball Digest is that he was told by his physicians that he had a heart trouble and that pitching could very possibly kill him. And so, and they were saying because he threw left-handed, and I guess your heart's on the left side, that made it even worse. But he decided to pitch anyway. And so to my knowledge, he survived everything. But that would be interesting, having to try to pitch, worried about that extra strain on your mind. So, all right, leading off for the Indians will be Joe Gordon. He's hitting .313, a home run, 2 triples, and a double, so he's off to a pretty good start. That's a 5-2, and that's a second base X. Mayo is a .314, so we'll see if he can make the play. It's a 19, so he gets to it, and a 10 on the error check, and he will make the play. So nice defense by the Detroit second baseman for out number 1. Ken Keltner, third baseman extraordinaire. Take his crack versus Newhouser. He's hitting .200 with a home run and 3 RBIs so far. That's a 2-6. 1-2 is a single. Got a 17. So that's going to be a line out to third. So hit hard, but right at Kell at first, who has a 1 range. Got a Hall of Fame glove to go with this Hall of Fame bat. So quickly 2 away here in the Cleveland second. Jim Hegan, the catcher, who's hitting .214 with an RBI, will step up to the plate. 2 out, nobody on. That's a 110, and that's going to be popped up. And it will be retired in foul ground by his opposite number, Hal Wagner. And the Indians go in order. Go to the home half of the first, still 0-0. Bob Feller will face 5, 6, and 7 here in the second inning. Pat Mullen is hitting .263 with 4 RBIs so far. It's a 1-6, and that's going to be a strikeout. So strikeout number 1 of the day for Bob Feller. That'll bring up Hoot Evers, who hit 10 home runs in real life. So far, is leading the league with 4. So he is off to a very hot start. 4 home runs, 9 RBIs, hitting .333. It's a 1-7, and he needs 11 to get a single. Got a 13, so that's going to be a line out to third. 13 on the 20, so Ken Keltner will field it for out number 2. That brings up Roy Cullenbine, Detroit first baseman. He's hitting a .158 so far. He just hit .224 in real life, but he did have 24 home runs, so Dave Kingman type. That's a 5-10, and that's going to be a strikeout. So the second strikeout of the game. And Feller retires the Tigers in order as well. So after 2 complete, we are knotted at 0. Both pitchers are 3 Ws, and so Bob Feller will get the first at bat as a 3W. Unfortunately, Strat doesn't keep track of pitcher hitting stats. I don't know why. You think that would be something they would fix. Again, if there's something I'm doing wrong that anybody knows, feel free to say so. That's a 1-7. That's a ground ball to second base. Feller a little late on a Newhouser fastball. Bounces it to Mayo. And he will toss over to Cullenbine for out number 1. Dale Mitchell is 0 for 1. He bounced back to the box to start the game. That's a 210, and he's going to pop it up on the infield. So he got under a Newhouser fastball. Pops it straight up. Eddie Lake will wave everyone off, and as the infield general, will put it away for out number 2. 2 out, nobody on for Catfish Mekovich. He singled in his first at bat, got as far as second base, but that was as far as he got. 4-8, and he's going to walk. His third walk of the year, the second walk given up today by Newhouser. So the Indians get a 2-out base runner. Mekovich is not a great big hand to steal. He's got a 50% chance if he gets a lead with 2 out here. Let's give it a shot. See if he can get a lead. And he does. So 1-10, he's safe. And he gets a 7. So how about that? Mekovich surprises the Tigers, and he slides in under the tag for a stolen base. So that'll put a runner in scoring position for Harold Peck. And Harold Peck walked his first at bat. He is a clutch hitter. His 2-8 goes to a single. I missed the tower. So we get a 4-3. That's a ballpark single check. And we got a 9. He rolled a 5, or needs a 9, and he got a 5. So unfortunately, the ballpark single is just a 1-star single. So I kind of chalk those off as infield hits. So that'll move Mekovich to third. Harold Peck with the second Indian hit of the day. That brings up Lou Boudreau with runners on the corners. Boudreau flew out to Wakefield in his first effort of the game. Left-handed Newhouser looks into the sign from Hal Wagner. Again, Hall of Famer versus, I don't know if Newhouser's a Hall of Famer or not. I'll have to look that. I don't think he is. And that's trouble. 4-5. And that's going to be, it's like a double. 4-5. Got a 17. And that's going to be the first double of the year for Boudreau, who had 45 in real life. So he bounces that. One hops the wall. The man on first can score on a 1-14. So I'm going to try to send him home. The lead is a 1-6, and I'm going to send him as well, trying to get that second run. And they're not going to cut it off. They're going to try to throw Peck out at the plate. And it's a 5, and he slides in safe. Boudreau will make it to third on the throw. That's RBI 4 and 5 for Lou Boudreau, and the Indians are up 2-0. Bases clearing double. Double number 1 for Boudreau. 2 RBIs. He ends up at third base. That brings up Eddie Robinson, who again is not terribly proficient versus lefties. Grounded out to shortstop his first at bat. That's a 4-5, and that's trouble. So every time I say something, they prove me a liar. So that's hit deep to left center. That's over the head of Evers. That bounces off the wall, takes kind of a wonky bounce. Robinson will slide into third with a triple, his first of the year. Boudreau will score easily from third, and it is 3-0, Cleveland Indians. So that brings Joe Gordon to the plate. Newhouser in a bit of trouble here in the third. He had a fine 2.87 ERA in real life, but a 17-17 record. That's a 5-7, and he's going to get Joe Gordon to strike out. But not before the damage is done. And all of that with 2 outs nonetheless. So we got 3 runs on 1, 2, 3 base hits. There were no errors. And we have 1 runner left on, so we go to the bottom of the third. The Indians up 3-0. So Bob Feller given a 3-run lead, seeing if he can hang on to it here. He's got Hal Wagner, the Detroit catcher, who will lead off. He's hitting .231. That's a 5-7, and that's a strikeout. So strikeout number 3 of the day for Mr. Feller. That'll bring Hal Newhouser to the plate, who is a 3W as well, as Feller is. And they'll go ahead and let Newhouser hit, as this is 1947 after all. That's a 2-10, and that's going to be a strikeout. So swing and a miss. Newhouser not able to catch up with the Feller Express. Quickly 2 away. And that'll bring Eddie Lake to the plate. 2 out, nobody on. He's been the only base runner for Detroit today, and that was a leadoff walk. He's walked 8 times. He had 120 walks in the real-life campaign. That's a 2-10, and that's going to be hit hard, but right at Boudreaux at shortstop. And he will field it cleanly and throw him out to end the inning. So for the second inning in a row, the Tigers go in order. We've played 3 here in Detroit. Cleveland Indians 3, Detroit Tigers nothing. So Hal Newhouser, will see if he can keep the damage to 3 runs, as he will start off with Keltner. They got 7, 8, and 9 due for the Indians. Keltner lined out to third his first at bat. It's a 5-7, and that's going to be a strikeout. So strikeout number 2 for Newhouser. Actually, the last 2 batters have been strikeouts, or the only 2 he's had. So Jim Hegan, Cleveland catcher, fouled out to his opposite number last time. That's a 2-10, and that's a solid single to left field. So he times the fastball just right, lines it in between Lake and Kell. Wakefield will field it cleanly and throw it into second to hold Hegan to first. Bob Feller. See, Hegan is not, if he gets a 4, he can get a lead. Got Feller up, so we got 1 out. Let's see if Hegan can get that lead. Playing a little aggressive here. He is not able to get the lead. So do we bunt with Feller? I'm going to go ahead and let him hit away. 3 is not horrible. And with 1 out. It's a 5-4. That's a third base X. As we've said before, Kell is a 1 over there, but he does have a 21 E rating, so he did make some errors, so he will obviously get to it. And a 16 is a double play if he doesn't make an error. And he gets a 11, and he does. So it's a grounder down to Kell, a worm burner, but he is not able to field it cleanly. He juggles it. By the time he throws to first, Bob Feller has beaten it out. So they will charge Kell with the George Kell with the error. Newhouser not happy with that, as pitchers like to get that sure out of their other pitcher. So that'll put runners on first and second. Hegan runs at a 12. Feller runs at a 13, which is very good for a pitcher. So we got Dale Mitchell, who is 0 for 2. Runners on first and second, 1 out. That's a 2-11, and that's popped up behind the plate and foul ground. Wagner will give chase, and he will have room and put it away at number 2. Big pop out there for Newhouser. As he gets that important second out, he will focus his attention on the left-handed hitting Mekovich, who was singled, walked, and stole his first base of the season. And also scored a run. That's a 5-6, and he is going to go down swinging. So big sweeping curve, lefty versus lefty. It breaks further than Mekovich expects, and he's not able to catch up with it, and he will go down whiffing. I need black ink. So no runs, a hit, 1 error, 2 runners left on. We go to the home half of the fourth. Cleveland enjoying a 3-run lead. Bob Feller will have Eddie Mayo to deal with. Got 2, 3, and 4 for Detroit. Mayo popped out to Joe Gordon his first at bat. Again, Tiger Stadium, or Briggs Stadium as it was now, is definitely a hitter's park. That's a 1-2, and that's going to be a ground ball to first plus injury. So far, not a lot of injuries in the league, but there's been some. Robinson will take it to hit the bag himself, and looks like Mayo's going to have to sit the rest of the game. So he's injured, but just for this game only. He had 535 at bats, so we'll see who the Tiger manager decides to put in. So with 1 out, Dick Wakefield will take his place in the left-handed batter's box. He flew out to Mitchell in his first at bat. Fellow looks into the sign from Hegan. We get a 4-7 versus the lefty. 1-2 is a double, and he got a 9, so that's going to be a relatively deep fly to center field. Mekovic is able to track it down into the alley to retire Wakefield for out number 2. So that was hit out to right center field. Mekovic able to track it down. So 2 away for George Kell, who bounced back to Feller in his to end the first inning. Still hitting .318 with an RBI and a triple. That's a 1-5, and that's going to be trouble. So Kell anticipates a Feller curve, and he drives it to left center field. Mekovic won't get that one. He's running hard into the alley, and Kell will get into second base easily with a stand-up double. That's the first double of the year for Kell, I believe. So a 2-out double for George Kell. That's how the Indians, they scored all 3 of their runs in the third with 2 outs. So Tigers seeing if they could follow suit. We'll have Pat Mullen, who struck out. He is not much of a clutch hitter. His 1-2 and 1-11 turned to pop up, so not a great big difference, but a couple spots. And we get a 2-5, and that's a walk. It's the second walk issued by Feller today, as he misses outside with the fastball. Put runners on first and second for Hoot Evers. Again, he's hit 4 home runs, leading the league so far. So not expected to hit. Again, he hit 10 in real life, so he's overperforming a bit in that category. So 2 out. His 1-4 turns to a single, so he's a little bit of a clutch hitter. And that's a 6-9. That's a shortstop X. Boudreau is a 1-16. So he will definitely get to it if he doesn't make an error. So he gets a 3, so nice play. He saved a base hit there. Gets a 10 on the air, so good defense by Drew Boudreau. That definitely saved a hit. So he will toss it to Gordon at second to get the short out. So nice defense there. Save the day. So Hoot Evers hits into fielder's choice. So the Tigers come up empty-handed. They get a hit, no errors. They leave 2. We are through 4. Still 3-0 Cleveland. Nice job by Bob Feller and company. So Hal Peck, we got 3, 4, and 5 for Cleveland. Peck is walked, singled, and scored. That's a 5-6, and he's going to go down swinging. Strikeout number 4 today. So Newhouser kind of getting into a groove after that rough third. Focus his attention on Boudreau, who had the big hit in the third, a 2-run double. He's up to 5 RBIs for the season. It's a 5-9, but this time Newhouser gets the best of him. That's a wave and a miss. So 2 strikeouts in a row here for Newhouser. who's doing his best Bob Feller impersonation. And Eddie Robinson, he hit a triple, knocked in a run, was stranded there as Joe Gordon struck out to end the third. That's a 2-3, and that's popped up behind the plate. For the third time today, there will be a foul out to the catcher. So Newhouser with the high heat. Robinson not able to get it, and the Indians go in order in the fifth. Home half of the fifth coming up. Cleveland 3, Detroit nada. So the bottom of the Detroit lineup will face Feller here in the fifth. Cullenbine is struck out and hit. Matter of fact, all three of these batters struck out their first at bat, so Feller would like to duplicate that, I'm sure. That's a 5-9, and he proceeds to strike out the first one. So Feller throwing some gas today. Cullenbine outmatched on that one. Swing and miss. And that strikeout number 5 today for Mr. Feller. One away. Hal Wagner, who was the strikeout victim, to lead off the third. See what he can do here with Bob Feller. That's a 2-6, and he makes contact. Goes the other way out to left field. Mitchell will take a few steps in and put it away for out number 2. Hal Newhouser, left-handed hitter versus the righty Feller. He's a strikeout victim. Again, he hits at a 3W. That's a 1-9, and that's going to be a single. How about that? Hal Newhouser, carry a bat, you're dangerous. Gets a 2-out single. Bob Feller gives Newhouser an angry look. It's not supposed to happen, but it happened nonetheless. So Newhouser runs at a 13. He's not a threat to steal, so Robinson will play behind him. Eddie Lake, who has walked and grounded out, we'll see what he can do with 2 outs here. That's a 4-8, and that's going to be a single. So back-to-back singles. That's a 1-star single. So hit hard up the middle. Mekovich will play it on a bounce, and it was hit hard enough that Newhouser will only go as far as second. So 3 hits for Detroit today, 2 of them here back-to-back. So Eddie Mayo with a chance to do some damage. Oh, that's right. I forgot Mayo was injured. We've got Skeeter Webb. Who was in to play second base. Get him in the lineup. Skeeter Webb is 0 for 2 so far. Not a lot of playing time. He only had 79 at bats. There he is. He is in at second base for the injured Mayo. So it's up to Skeeter Webb to see what he can do. Right-handed hitter. And again, Feller, the right-handed pitcher. Webb is not a clutch hitter, as his 2-6, 2-12, and 3-4 all turn to pop outs. That's a 1-7, and that's a fly ball out to center field. Not hit very hard. Mekovich will get to it easily, and that will do it for the Tigers. So they have a decent threat. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. They leave 2 runners on. We've gone through 5 here in Detroit. 3-0 Cleveland. So Hal Newhouser, after the rough third inning, has pitched pretty well the last couple innings. He's got Joe Gordon to deal with here in the top of the 6th. Gordon is 0 for 2. A strikeout victim in his last at bat. That's a 2-10, and that's fouled over toward the stands. The right field stands. Cullenbine giving chase. And Mullen, and it looks like Cullenbine will get to it at the warning track. Out number 1. So nice play by Roy as he gets to it for out number 1. Keltner is 0 for 2. That's a 5-9, and he proceeds to strike out for the second time in a row. So that's 6 strikeouts for Newhouser today. Swing and a miss. Keltner not able to catch up with the fastball. Maybe expecting something else that time. So Hegan will step to the plate. He's fouled out and singled, hitting .250 for the year. He does have a double and an RBI to his credit. That's a 6-7, and that's going to be a harmless fly ball out to center field. Can of corn for Hoot Evers. And Newhouser retires the Indians in order in the 6th. We go to the home half of the 6th. Detroit down by 3. Three, 4, and 5 due for Detroit. Wakefield is flied out twice. One good thing about this 1947 set is that it is rated for fly balls and ground balls, based from real life statistic, which is really cool. So that's a really nice added detail that doesn't take any more playing time. It's just added into the cards. So fly ball pitchers will do what they did in real life. Ground ball pitchers the same thing for hitters. So that's one advantage to using this brand new 47 set, that it's got all the bells and whistles. And again, those things add detail but don't add anything to the complexity of the game or the playing time. So one really good thing about Strat. So anyway, Wakefield's flied out twice. He gets a 4-4. That's a catcher X. Hegan is a 1-4. So he is a very good fielder. He gets a 20 and a 9, so that'll be a little number in front of the plate. Wakefield swings over a fastball, drives it into the ground. And Hegan will come out from behind the plate and throw him out. Out number 1. Nice defense by Cleveland. They've got 4, not counting Feller, they've got 4 number 1s on the field. Or actually 3. Hegan, Boudreau at short, Gordon at second. Feller's a number 1, but of course he doesn't play all the time. So George Kell, he doubled, his first double of the year back in the 4th. He also has a ground out back to Feller to his credit today. 348 for the season for Kell, so he's having a nice year. That's a 3-6, and that's a solid single. So far, the Hall of Fame matchup is going to Kell as he's 2 for 3. He bounces one up the middle, and Feller not able to field it. George Kell has the star, so he does have the ability to steal. We will hold him on. Pat Mullen is walked and struck out in his 2 plate appearances. Detroit not doing anything as far as strategy. We'll let Mullen hit away. That's a 4-8, and that's a walk. So Feller living a little dangerously the last couple innings. The last 2 innings in a row, Detroit has left on 2, and they proceed to get 2 on here in the 6th. So Hoot Evers is 0 for 2 today. Again, he has 4 home runs on the year so far. Kell runs at a 12, as does Mullen at first. So decent speed on the base for Detroit. That's a 5-4. That's a third base X. Keltner is a 2-13, so he's a pretty good fielder. See if he can make the play here, as I keep missing the dumb tower. That's a 13, which is a double play. If he doesn't make an error, he gets a 9, and he doesn't. So hit hard to Keltner. He will throw on to Gordon at second, who makes the nice pivot onto Robinson. And that will be an inning-ending double play. So just what the doctor ordered for the Cleveland fans in the house. So that's 2, 5, 4, 3, double play. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 runner left on. Detroit's left on 5 in the last 3 innings, but still have nothing to show for it on the scoreboard as we go to the top of the 7th. 3-0 Cleveland. Bob Feller will get his third crack at Newhouser. Feller is 0 for 2. He did reach on an error by Kell at third. That's a 2-7, and Feller will go back to the dugout, bat in hand. As he swung and foul tipped it, Wagner hangs on. Number 7 for Newhouser. So not a ton of strikeouts in 1947, which I prefer, just enough to keep it interesting, but these two guys have a strikeout battle going. Dale Mitchell is 0 for 3. And I missed the tower again. That's a 6-6, and that's going to be pulled out to right field. Pat Mullen out there, who's not a great fielder, will get to this one for out number 2. 2 out, nobody on for George Metkovich, the center fielder. He's 1 for 2 with a walk, stolen base, run scored, strikeout. He's had an exciting day. That's a 1-10, and that's trouble. Get a 7. So Newhouser hangs a curveball there. Metkovich drives it hard to right center field on a line. That's in the gap. Devers will chase it down, and Metkovich finds himself at second with his first double of the season, and his second hit of the game. So again, back in the third, the Indians did their damage with 2 out, and now they have Metkovich on with a double with 2 out. Seeing if they can replicate their third inning success. So Harold Peck is 1 for 2. He singled, walked, and scored. Metkovich runs at a 15. And they're going to give Peck a free pass to face Lou Boudreau. So I don't know about that. That's an interesting. I mean, Peck does hit lefties very well, and Boudreau actually is better versus righties. Newhouser's even, so I guess I can see the strategy there, but we'll see if it works out. So Peck with the intentional walk. So they got runners on first and second. Does set up a force play. So Lou Boudreau, who has the big hit of the game. The Detroit faithful here wonder the wisdom of that move. We will see if it pans out or not. Again, Boudreau has a 2-run double to his credit today. I keep missing the stupid tower. And that's a 2-4, and that's trouble. Big, big trouble. Boudreau pulls that one down the left field line over the head of Kell, and it's a fair ball. So it'll rumble around in the corner. Metkovich will score. Peck can score on a 1-15. We will send him. Lou Boudreau is a 1-3, so I'm going to hold him. And so we'll play at the plate here, 1-15, and Peck scores. And that's a 17, so how about that? Nice throw by Wakefield, a perfect throw. And they gun down Peck at the plate. So that could be big things for Detroit there. So Metkovich scores easily. Howard Peck is gunned down 7-2 at the plate. Out number 3. Lou Boudreau with a double. His second of the game and second of the year. Third RBI of the game. And it is 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. So they did just got the 1 run on the 2 base hits. Again, 2 out trouble for Cleveland. They got no errors, and they left 1 runner on. So our trivia question. In 1983, Pete Rose's 745 consecutive game playing streak ended. Why did it end? In 1983. I didn't remember him having a streak like that. So I'm not for sure why it ended. So let's see the answer. Wow, his hitting had tailed off considerably and he was benched. Oh, that's interesting. You wouldn't expect they would bench a guy who had a streak like that. But he went on to have some decent seasons after 83. But that was toward the end of his career. All right, so Cullenbine will lead off here in the home half of the 7th. He has been a strikeout victim twice. He will get his third crack at Feller to see if he can figure him out. And that's a 1-8, and he draws a walk. So he does indeed figure him out. That's the fourth walk given up by Feller. Cullenbine is not a threat to steal, so we're going to play Robinson behind him at first. Hal Wagner, who is 0 for 2. Lefty versus righty here for Wagner. That's a 5-8. That's a second base X. Gordon is a 119. So he's a good chance for a double play here if he doesn't make an error. Get a 15, so he does get a G1, a 10 on the E. So Gordon with a nice play, throws on to Boudreau, on to Robinson. So defense saves the day here again, as that is the second double play turned by the Indians. 4-6-3 double play. That will be 2 out, nobody on for Newhouser. We'll see if they let him hit. They're actually going to bring up Vic Wertz to pinch hit. Vic Wertz, the lefty. Come in to pinch hit for Detroit. So far he is 2 for 2 with a double and a triple. So Vic Wertz has done very well in his pinch hitting duties up to this point. In real life, he hit .288 with 6 home runs, 44 RBIs. That's a 5-8, and that's going to be another second base X. So another opportunity for Joe Gordon to show his defensive mettle. Again, he's a 1, so he will get to it at a 14. And that's a 15, and he will not field it cleanly. So routine grounder to Gordon, and he scoops it, and the throw pulls Robinson off the bag, and they charge Gordon with the error. So after a fine defensive play to get the double play, Gordon muffs that one. It's 1 error apiece for each team. So Vic Wertz doesn't get a hit, his third pinch hit. He runs at a 12, and he gets a lead on 2. So we're going to play behind him. He'll probably try to see if he can get that 2, but he doesn't, so he will not get a lead. Eddie Lake is 1 for 2 with a walk and a single. And that's a 2-8, and that's flied out to center field. Mekovich will put it away to end the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left on after 7 complete. Cleveland Indians 4, Detroit Tigers nothing. So it looks like Hal White is called in to take over the pitching duties. So Newhouser with not a great another not very excuse me, and another not great start. So Hal White, this will be his first appearance of the year. He was 4-5, 2 saves with a 3.61 ERA in the real life 47 season. Right-handed pitcher. So Eddie Robinson, the left-hander, is glad to see the lefty out of there, even though he did have a triple. But he didn't fare too bad versus the left-handed Newhouser. And that's a 4-8, and he's going to draw a walk. That's the 4th time he's walked this year. Not how Hal White wants to start the game. And Eddie Robinson, if he gets a 2, he's got a good chance. So we'll see if he can get that 2. And he does not. So that'll bring Joe Gordon to the plate, who's 0 for 3. They've got the corners in, expecting a possible bunt with us up by 4. I don't think that I will bunt. We'll let Gordon hit away. That's a 3-6. That's fly ball out to center field. Kind of shallow. Evers has to charge toward the infield, but he will get to it for out number 1. So we've got Robinson on first there. He runs that at 11 for a big first baseman. Keltner is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts, so he's glad to see Newhouser depart. That's a 1-4, and that's line hard, but right at the third baseman, George Kell, for out number 2. Jim Hegan is 1 for 3. That's a 5-9, and that's trouble. And that's going to be hit out to deep center field, toward left center field. Evers won't get to that one. That's going to be in the gap. We got a 1-13 for Robinson to score. 2 outs. He was running. We're going to do that, and the trail's 1-8. So I'm going to send the trail runner. See if they bite. They don't. So it's Robinson at the plate here. And that's a 3. So he will score easily. Egan will make it to third. That's his second double of the season. And Cleveland ups their lead to 5. So not able to gun down the runner this time, as Egan gets a double, his second hit of the game. Second double of the year. RBI for Hegan. I'll put him on third with 2 outs. And Bob Feller is 0 for 3. See if he can add further insult to injury to his Detroit competitors. That's a 5-8, and he does. How about that? So that's going to be a single for Bob Feller. That's a line drive to left field, and Wakefield won't get to it. And it is 6-0 to Cleveland. So a lot of the Detroit faithful are departing to their cars at this point. Again, Feller runs at a 13. So White seeing if he can get Dale Mitchell here to end the 8th. That's a 6-8 and 1-3, and that's going to be a fly ball to center field. Hoot Evers will chase that one down to end the inning. Not before the Indians tack on 2 more. 2 base hits, no errors. They leave 1 runner on. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It is now 6-0 Cleveland. Bob Feller, 2 innings left to here, trying to see if he can pick up the shutout. He will face Webb, who is 0 for 1 so far. That's a 2-7. He needs a 1-12. Got a 5, so that's going to be a hit for the light hitting second baseman. So 2-7. It's a 5. So liner up the middle. That's the 5th hit of the day for the Tigers. He does get a lead if he's not held on, so we will hold him on even though we are up by 6. So Dick Wakefield, who's 0 for 3. A fellow trying to hang on to the shutout if he can. That's a 2-4, so that's a fly ball the other way. Wakefield a little late on the outside fastball. We'll line it to Mitchell for out number 1. George Kell's had a good day. He's 2 for 3 with a double. Got his average up to 375. He's having a good day even though the rest of the Tigers are not. And that's going to be a walk. That's walk number 5 to 5 strikeouts for Feller. Like a lot of control pitchers, or a lot of power pitchers rather. He's a little wild. The Indians looking for their third double play as Pat Mullen will step up, and he is 0 for 1. He has walked twice to give him 4 walks for the year. That's a 1-8, and he goes down swinging. A big strikeout there for Feller. Swung on and missed. Nice outside corner fastball. Mullen comes up empty for out number 2. Strikeout number 6 of the day for Bob Feller. So Hoot Evers is 0 for 3. He hit into one of those double plays to end the 6th. That's a 3-11. That's a ballpark check, and that's going to be a single, but that'll be a 1-star single. Need a 9 here on a bad day at Briggs Stadium. Did I hit the... Oh, 3-11. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong one. So that's actually a bouncer to first base. And he will underhand to Feller, and that will do it. So, no runs, a hit, no errors, 2 runners left. We go to the 9th inning. Cleveland out by a commanding 6-0 lead. So not the pitching matchup that people here in Detroit were hoping for. So we got 2, 3, and 4 for the Indians here in the 9th. Mekovich is 2 for 3 with a double. Stolen base, so he's had a fine day. That's a 4-10. That's a ground ball to second base. Hit hard, but right at Webb, and that'll be the first out of the night. Mr. Hal Peck, who is 1 for 2. A couple walks, 1 intentional. That's a 5-5, and he goes down swinging. So White with the changeup there. Peck out in front of it. It's not able to make contact. Out number 2. It's the first strikeout of the game for Hal White. So quickly 2 away for Lou Boudreau, who is the offensive star of the game. He's got 2 doubles, 3 RBIs. They foolishly, intentionally walked Howard Peck to get to him into the 7th. He would have had 2 RBIs, except Peck was gunned down at the plate. That's a 4-5, and that'll be a fly ball out to right field. So Boudreau goes the other way, but Mullen is there to put it away to end the inning. All right, so we go to the home half of the 9th. Detroit trying to see if they can make a game of this. So Feller looking for his first shutout of the season. We'll start off with Roy Cullenbine, who is 0 for 2 with a walk. Here's the pitch from Feller. It's a 4-8, and that's going to be a walk. So walk number 6 today. In the first game, Feller only gave up 1 walk. Did I hit the right thing? 4-6. Oh, yeah, it's 4-8. So I got to undo that. He only gave up 1 walk and 10 hits his first game. This game is kind of the opposite. He's given up 5 hits, but 6 walks. We'll undo that and try again. It should a 4-8. That's the second time Cullenbine has walked. Runner on first. Not a huge threat to steal, so Robinson will play behind him. Wagner is 0 for 3. He's hitting to a double play his last at bat. Feller would like that again here if he can get it. That's a 5-9, but he strikes him out. Strikeout number 7. And there's 1 away. So that brings up Hal White, who I'm sure they will pinch hit for. And looks like Steve O'Neill, the Detroit skipper, will send up Doc Kramer. Left-handed hitter. Doc Kramer, this will be his first at-bat of the year. He hit 268 and 157 at-bats in the real-life season. So 1 out. Cullenbine on first. Doc Kramer, the pitch hitter. He has he kills righties. So that's a 5-8, and that's going to be a second base X. So far, Joe Gordon is 1 for 2. If he can, good chance of getting a double play here. So he gets a 9. He does get a G1, and he gets a 16. Oh, 15 and 17 are errors, but 16 is not, and so that's hit down to Joe Gordon, who throws it on to Boudreau, on to Robinson, and that ends the game. So nice job by Bob Feller. So Bob Feller at least has a pitching duel with himself, as Newhouser doesn't participate, as he has his second bad outing in a row. So that'll be a double play, 3. So that'll do it here. So that's, look at the box score a little bit. So Indians, they go to 2-3. The Tigers fall to 2-4. They were actually swept in a 3-game series by the Browns to open up the year. So, so far in this series, they won the first 2 games. They won 8-6 and 5-2. And so they end up taking 2 or 3 of the series, as Cleveland is able to salvage 1 game. Bob Feller was 9 innings, 5 hits, no runs, no 1 run, 6 walks, 7 strikeouts. His ERA improves to 1.59 as he goes to 1-1. Newhouser drops to 0-1 with a 5.40 ERA. So he's again had 2 bad outings in a row. Lou Boudreau is the hitting star for the Indians, as he gets a couple hits and a run and 3 RBIs, 2 doubles. So anyway, that will do it here from beautiful Briggs Stadium. Cleveland Indians 6, Detroit Tigers nothing. And I will see you next time.